Welcome to Amiibo Survival. Each episode we will randomly pick 4 different Amiibo and they will battle until they lose. The goal will be to see how many wins the Amiibo can accumulate in total, so let's pick the first lucky contestant. The first spin on the Smash Bros. Rando selector of fate has chosen me Brawler, aka Shantae. First challenger for Shantae is Ken, who immediately started getting played with as Shantae was knocking him around with a whole bunch of down tilts, eventually leading into a forward smash for the first KO. A bit later though, Ken did find himself down to his last stock before he delivered a very powerful looking up special for his first KO of the match. Ken was then able to hit back-to-back side specials, seemingly building up some sort of momentum. However, Shantae decided to finish off the battle before Ken could really do anything. Peach was up next and she attempted to take the crown from Shantae with a nice looking dash attack for a 2 stocks to 1 lead, but Shantae then answered immediately with a big blow to even up the game. Now that's what I call using your head. Me Brawler then decided to try her circus act. I guess she's trying out auditioning or something because she started juggling Peaches. It was moderately effective, and ultimately it led to Shantae getting her second win of the series. Next up is me Sword Fighter for some good old fashioned me on me action, which is actually illegal in some states, like Minnesota. Anyways, both competitors took turns trading their first stocks to make this match pretty interesting before Shantae used her head not just once, but ultimately 2 more times to pick up her 3rd win of the series. Shantae may be currently wearing the victory crown, but a new king has stepped up. King DDD has approached the throne, but he quickly got not just stock 1, but he is also able to take stock 2, making this battle for the throne seem like a foregone conclusion that there would be a change in leadership. Although Shantae was able to snag 1 stock, but it was only 1 stock because the king then hit a big ol' stomach to the face for the win, ending me Brawler's day. Now would you look at that, the Smash Bros. Resident doctor, Dr. Mario, was selected next, and it looks like he'll be making some house calls. King DDD decided to stick around after defeating me Brawler, so he barged his way straight into the doc's office, but Doc wasn't gonna let his new patient push him around and ended up yeeting the big guy out for stock number 1. The king then got some courage to ask the doc to look at something, and well, that something ended up being a massive dash attack for stock number 2, literally right in the face, like, hey, take a look at this thing. But shortly after that, with the score being tied, DDD got the doc off stage and walloped him big time with a down air, sending the doc to the ER. Looks like the next unfortunate Amiibo is getting plucked from the pipes of the Mushroom Kingdom. Here comes Piranha Plant. Plant now bears the task of facing DDD, who is on his own win streak, so this should not be an easy task for the Plant, but he's able to gain the quick upper hand with a nice looking neutral special for the first KO of the match. And then after a bit of DDD deciding to play off stage because he's got like so many dang jumps, Plant was starting to get annoyed and ended up dragging the king back to the stage with his up special, and then landed a big up smash for a 2 stocks to 0 lead. DDD then realized he has finally found a worthy challenger and, well, decided to step his game up a bit because he delivered a big ol' down air for his first stock. Although Chewy was able to ultimately gain the upper hand and stop this king's reign of terror for Plant's first win.
Get out of here, bubble butt.
Wolf was up next and he flew into battle.
You're good, but I'm better.
But quickly realized he shouldn't get too close to this plant because I guess this plant can grab with its leaves, which is still a funny looking animation to me. But after being grabbed, he was immediately down 1 stock because, well, don't get grabbed by Piranha Plant. Who knows where that pipe leads? Plant was then able to catch Wolf off stage, and Wolf was suddenly down to his last stock, so this was not looking good for Wolf, although he did manage to strike back pretty quickly, and, well, even after a long back and forth after that, He did connect a very well-timed down smash as Plant was trying to fly back to the ledge, but just when I thought I might go get some popcorn because this match was getting intense and very intriguing, Chewie finished off Wolf and sent him flying straight back into space. Samus was the next challenger, and boy did she want to put on a show for the viewers, and she did not disappoint. She started by chasing Plant off stage and blasting him straight down to the bottom blast zone for stock number 1, and apparently the crowd wanted an encore because she decided to repeat herself for stock number 2 when she did it again. Chewie was trying to stage a late game comeback, however, but Samus hit what I'm gonna deem a somewhat lucky down tilt that caught just enough of Plant to ultimately end his day. Would you look at that? The Smash gods have now blessed us with Donkey Kong. So with Samus defeating the last challenger, she sticks around, and she wanted to make the fight against DK very interesting because right off of the bat, she footstooled DK for a very, very early stock lead.
That's pretty damn sad.
Donkey Kong seemed to kind of be, well, slightly embarrassed by that start, and well, let's just say he decided to go full banana mode. He ended up taking not just stock 1, but not just stock number 2, but all 3 stocks, showing everyone he is not playing around for this Amiibo Survival. Next up was Mr. Game & Watch, and let's just say his game didn't go according to plan because now he's going to have to watch the rest of the competition because, well, DK pummeled him pretty easily for his second win. Snake got called on next, and he did manage to fare a lot better than the first 2 opponents. He even landed a very sick-looking forward air to even the game at 2 stocks apiece. He is a snake, right? And what do snakes do best? Well, they kind of explode themselves. Next up is one of Donkey Kong's fiercest rivals over the past number of decades. That would be Mario. Mario showed up next, and he was able to KO Donkey Kong for stock 1, making this a nice little intriguing battle. But then he stepped up his game even further and made DK look foolish by luring the big ape off stage, much like Samus did in the first match, and footstooled DK for the stock and the lead currently. Donkey Kong did manage to even up the game a little bit later, but after some tense back and forth actions, both combatants collided, with Donkey Kong getting the upper hand for his 4th win of the series. Speaking of fierce rivals, King K. Rool has appeared, and well, let's just say Donkey Kong has the Armor Knight spirit, so K. Rool brought with him the Super Armor spirit, making this an epic battle of, well, now level playing field, if you will. Both spirits pretty much cancel each other out, so who gets the upper hand? Well, Donkey Kong nabbed it early on by swatting away the Big King. Although, now that I mention it, the Big King, that kind of sounds like something that's on like Burger King's menu, right? You can order yourself a Big King, and it probably comes with like a side of claptrap fries. Anyways, after our little lunch break there, K. Rool then forward smashed DK to even up the match, and even threw in a little taunt because, well, he's the villain after all. But Donkey Kong then caught K. Rool with an up smash for win number 5. Now let's save a whole bunch of time because Donkey Kong went on a massive win streak here. He continued very impressively, ended up defeating Elf by stomping him straight downwards with a down air. Then he got paired up with Zelda, ended up perfect shielding her into an up tilt, which ultimately got him his 7th win. Dark Pit then thought he had a chance, but for some reason he wanted to fly straight into an up smash, so yeah, that's not really going to get a lot of wins. Daisy was the next challenger, and she, well, could only muster up 1 KO before Donkey Kong came right back, hitting a big up special for his 9th win. Next up was challenger number 10, and I had to go with Incineroar. How could the big ape take down the fire wrestling cat? Well, ultimately, it was a really, really good back and forth for the most part, with the most intense part coming at the very end, both down to their last stock. Incineroar started juggling DK for lots of good damage, but one good down air stomp later ended Incineroar's career. I mean, at this point, it almost feels like Donkey Kong is the lawnmower in Plants vs. Zombies. It was only a matter of time before I decided to throw in the unbeatable Bowser as a challenger, and well, now's the time. And let's just say he did not disappoint, because he started with a footstool on DK. That's like DK's one weakness. You footstool him and he's just done for. But then Bowser was able to follow that up by chasing the Big Ape off stage and hits a very powerful forward air for a 2-stock lead, putting DK's win streak in real jeopardy. But could Donkey Kong make a comeback? Well, let's just say Bowser is named unbeatable for a reason, and he ended up surviving DK's late game comeback long enough to ultimately 3-stock him. Now for the recap, me Brawler started off the episode 3 wins, not too bad. I wasn't expecting much out of me Brawler, so 3 wins is pretty respectable. But then Doc decided to come into the office, and well, it looks like he wanted a vacation day because he was immediately out of the competition with 0 wins. But then Plant decided to pop his head up and, well, you know, kind of did a little something, got 2 wins. But then came the creme de la creme, Donkey Kong, and he picked up 10 total wins before being ousted by the unbeatable Bowser.